So yesterday was International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and it feels like an appropriate time for me to share a story with you that I've never shared, and I'm pretty sure has never been shared publicly. And this is the story of one of my heroes, an American businesswoman who escaped the Holocaust. And the story is told in the form of a 20-minute documentary that almost no one's ever seen. This is a documentary that my brother Van and I made in, I'm pretty sure it's 2003, so 15, 16 years ago. And the story of how we made it is we had met this woman, her name is Lillian Vernon. We had met her son, and he explained to Van and me that they were about to go on this trip to explore his mother's journey through Europe in escaping the Holocaust and making it to the United States. And they asked us to go with them and document it as best we could. And that's exactly what we did. And we didn't really know them personally. We didn't know Lillian. We didn't know her kids very well. And we certainly weren't documentarians. Van and I, at the time, had made a bunch of short kind of internet movies, but keep in mind, this was 3 years before YouTube. So we packed up our video cameras, and this is DV video cameras. This is way old school cameras. And we followed Lillian and her two sons throughout Germany and Holland for almost 2 weeks. And then Van, my brother, edited together this documentary, which, to watch it now 16 years later, I think it holds up very well. I think that we, mostly Van, did a very good job making this movie. So I'm just gonna play it. I'm playing it as it was edited 16 years ago. This is unlike most of the content I put on this channel, but I hope you will appreciate it for what it is. One last thing that I wanted to say before I click play. Lillian Vernon, the subject of this movie, she passed away a little over 3 years ago. And I was lucky enough to really get to know her in between us making this video about her 16 years ago and her passing. And she's someone who had an outsized impact on me personally. She showed me what's possible, and she, I think, embodies the idea that you can do anything with enough hard work and perseverance. Okay, so here's a 2003 movie by the Neistat brothers. This is a 20-minute, rough around the edges, low-res documentary about a great American hero and businesswoman, Lillian Vernon.
I think you know I'm a foreign born. I was born in Leipzig, Germany in 1927. And at the age of 6, we moved to Holland. My father saw that war was coming. He was trying to protect my older brother, who was 3 years older than I was, and hoped to escape that.
A half-century ago, a newlywed looking for something to help make ends meet created a company right at her kitchen table. Today, Lillian Vernon catalogs have made it to nearly every mailbox in America, and she's made it rich.
My story. My story is a very simple one. I was born into a Jewish family, and they take you where they want to because that's what parents do. That's really their job, to take their children and protect their children. And my family did that. They left Germany and came to Holland. And my children have asked me why Holland. And I think Holland was the place my father could make a living.
Yes, but I am not that woman of other men.
Oh, my mother lived here 65 years ago, and she wanted to just see what it looked like. She lived here in 1937.
Oh my goodness. You are going to be nice to her, please.
This is my mother who lived here as a child.
Yes. Hello. I just thought I would come and visit and take a look. Would you
Yes.
mind?
Yes, please, I do not speak very well English. What is it?
Can I look? Just can
Yes, yes, you can go on.
look? These are my sons.
Yes, I understand. And
I
you
just want to
can,
come home and...
but I think it has changed.
But what
Yes.
doesn't? Everything changes. This was the living room, and this was the dining room. And it really isn't much different today. Different furniture, different colors. But this was the dining room. Right next to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Little garden on the outside.
What's it like being in here?
Well, I have to absorb all those emotional experiences to say, what's it like? I don't know. I don't know what it was like.
No, what's it like right now?
Right now, a little painful. A little romantic, a little painful. I have a little problem confronting my past.
What's the last memory you have of this guy?
Leaving it. But you know, when you're a kid, you leave this place and you're 10 years old or you're 9 years old and you're going for a new adventure. You're going to America. America!
My guest in today's segment is one of America's most successful entrepreneurs. She took cash from a wedding present in 1951 and turned it into a $170 million catalog business. It takes my breath away. Here to talk about how she did it is the founder and CEO of Lillian Vernon Catalogs, Lillian Vernon. Nice to have you on. Now, what happened? How did you get started? You received a check for your wedding, and you decided to do what with it?
Now, in those days, it was a lot of little checks
Right,
to make
okay.
that money, $2,000. And I decided to go into business. Nobody would loan me money.
So you took your money.
So I took my money and I went to work. Probably the black sheep of everything I've ever done. I went to work, nobody went to work. I made money, nobody made money. I remember going to a school that Fred teaches now, the new school, and a woman said she wants to do something. I think she wanted to make some clothes, and her husband wouldn't have her give her any money to start, seed money. So I said to her, why don't you take your engagement ring, which is sort of sizable, and sell it? Oh, she said to me, that would make him very angry. And I said, but he won't give you money. Don't you then have to find a way to find your own source of money to do it? And she said, no, I can't do that. My husband would disapprove of that. And I don't know if that's true today or not. Probably is true today. And, you know, it's just a different world. A world I didn't live in. Oh, or chose to live in.
What would you have done in her position?
Sold the jewelry in a moment, in a second.
Vernon's success was born out of a basic need, she says.
And what I wanted is just to make another $50 a week that would supplement our income, would make it living a little better.
50 years ago, at her kitchen table, a new bride and pregnant with her first of 2 sons, she had an idea. She placed her first ad in 17 magazine for a bag and a belt.
We shipped the orders. I was pregnant with Fred, president of the company now. Got them all out. Went to the hospital, had a baby, and 6 weeks later came back to work. And it was just a huge hit. I mean, we spent $500. I did $32,000 worth of business when the ad was finished, and kind of launched it.
The original seed money for it was
$2,000.
Her father's leather factory made the bag that she designed. She added what would become a Lillian Vernon trademark, monograms, and the orders poured in.
Germany, was it after Hitler came to power or before?
Yes.
Right after.
No, he had come to power.
And how much was that talked about at home? Do you have some sense of it?
I don't have much sense of that. I think you talked about how dangerous it was for us. But most of it, you know, what time is dinner and what are we having for dinner and how did you do in school. I think all the ordinary things that every other family talks about.
But when your family made the decision to leave, it's obviously a big decision to uproot, leave everything and go. How, do you have any sense of how that was ever talked about?
No, we were told about it, but not talked about. I don't think it was not our decision, it was our parents' decision.
Oh yeah, but I mean, was that, you think mostly Herman or Erna?
I think that was my father.
Your father?
Yeah. My father had a singular thrust in his life is to protect his children. I'm not going to say to protect his male son, but I think that was in his mind because of the army and the terrible consequences had he been drafted, had Germany gone to war. I'm not even sure there was such a thought about the Holocaust. I'm not even sure if the Germans knew that the Holocaust was coming.
What do you think the things that were leading up to the decision to go?
Well, my brother was thrown down a flight of stairs in one of the buildings that we lived in and left his face raw, and raw skin was there, and that was because the Jude, he was Jewish. And I think my father saw the handwriting on the wall that this would be the first of many, many instances of violence against Jewish kids.
Here's the 25, genau. This is now 25? Yeah.
I do remember that house.
That was the house?
That was the apartment building we moved into after we moved out of the villa, which was taken over by the stormtroopers, and they made that their base. And I believe we lived on the second floor because they threw my brother down the stairs, so we must come from the second floor.
Ah, guten Tag. Wenn ich war ein kleines Kind, habe ich hier gewohnt, an den zweiten Stock. Und wir kommen zurück und wollen dort, kann wir ein bisschen rumlaufen.
Ein bisschen noch, bitte.
Dankeschön.
Bitte. Ein Telefonbücher 1932, wo der Hausbesitzer drin stehen.
Können wir das sehen? Haben Sie das da?
Das habe ich da.
Would you like to see that? It's got the phone books and these are the page
Let's go look. Ja, ja.
Guten Tag. Hallo. Hallo. Ich habe hier gewohnt 70 Jahre vor. So. Und habe ich Ihren Mann da getroffen. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Schöne Wohnung. Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh, we lived here.
Yeah, is that Herman?
Yep.
Here it is.
Yep.
Herman Menashe, apartment C1,
Mm-hmm.
Baustrasse 63.
Mm-hmm.
That was the original villa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's another Herman.
Wait, I found my glasses.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my father.
Which one?
Chaim.
Chaim?
Mm. This is a Jewish name. So, wir gehen die allein lassen. You wanna buy them? Können wir die kaufen?
Ja, ich weiß absolut nicht, ob das, was das wert ist und was es kosten soll. Also habe ich keine Ahnung drüber.
He doesn't know how much he should charge you. He doesn't have any idea.
I have no idea either.
Wenn Sie,
100 Euro.
Ja, ja, wenn Sie Interesse daran haben.
100 Euro. How about 100 Euro?
Ja, ja. Ohne weiteres. Danke.
Okay. Wir waren hier dann bereit.
So you think the stairs were, this was Fred that was beaten up in this house? Yeah. On these stairs?
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
It was on these stairs that Fred was beaten up.
Lillian Vernon, Janet speaking. May I help you?
Lillian Vernon, Marie speaking. May I help you?
Good morning, Lillian Vernon, Linda speaking. May I help you?
Do you ever want to just cash in and call it a day?
No, I really don't. I like what I do. I love what I do. I love to shop. I have a black belt in shopping, and I like what I do, so why should I cash in?
Well, mainly because you're so rich now. Why risk anything?
Well, life is risk. You know, you get out of bed, it's a risk. You know, you could stay in bed and say, oh, good, I'm safe. You don't know that. I think life's a risk, and if you don't take it, my goodness, it passes you by. All of our red, white, and blue items, like God Bless America mugs, T-shirts with flags on them, caps with flags on them, have been blowing out of our place on our net site, our internet site. So suddenly the red, white, and blue have become very, very popular. We couldn't even buy flags. Our flag manufacturers just...
Can you take us through kind of what happened after September 11th as far as the business is concerned?
Well, the orders dried up. Nobody had any money. Nobody was traveling. There was terrible. What was it called, that scare in the mail? Anthrax. So people wouldn't order. I think had I realized that it was 9/11 that made the business so tough, I'm not sure I would have sold it. But it was just really too tough for me. And maybe it was the right time to sell, because I can't go on forever.
Lillian Vernon will be stepping down as CEO of the Rye-based catalog company that bears her name. But the 74-year-old businesswoman will remain as chairwoman. A company spokesperson says Vernon will shift her focus towards promoting Lillian Vernon products and planning for the future of the business.
Something that bothers me, and it'll probably always bother me that it's gone out of the family. I mean, how many people start a business on the kitchen table, grow it to $250 million, and then have to kind of sell it and be at the mercy of the people that buy it instead of really enjoying, the rewards of all that one has done. And it is sad.
My brother went to City College. Was a sophomore. Was drafted into the Army, as all of our boys were. And as soon as he went over, he became an American citizen, because you can't send a foreigner overseas. They can kill you as a spy in minutes. But he died anyway. So my father had left Germany, gone to Holland, left Holland, looking for safety for my brother, looking for safety for the whole family, but basically they were very concerned about their male son. And he died anyway.
He died fighting the Germans.
Died fighting the Germans.
We're really having an incredible time. I think this will bring us all closer together. It really is just a very special visit, just to meet these people and buy his books. And he didn't really want to sell them. We really said, please take the money. He's going on vacation. I guess it made me feel that there are good people in the world. It didn't matter to him if he got that €100. We wanted to give it to him. We really, really wanted to have a better vacation, because he gave us something that's important to us and didn't matter to him, which he easily admitted. And then you think of all the nonsense of things you buy, and this is so worthwhile. It kind of throws it into perspective. I was in Milan and I bought a fantastic jacket for about $8,000. It is absolutely repulsive. It weighs 9,000 pounds. I'll probably never wear it. And I said, here I am, bought those books for $120, and I will cherish them.
Where did you bought them?
Well, whoever bought
I
them.
bought them for 120. You want them? They're 150.
That's not bad. That's still a good deal.
It's just so amazing. He didn't want them. He didn't care about them. He would have given it to us. That was the interesting part. This will change my life. Yes, it has to change my life. So we're very excited. People just love us here. Bye-bye. How do you turn this thing off?